think I got this working properly now. All right, so make sure people know I'm actually live. All right, so um, here is a map of corridors. I'm going to renaming them. Currently, they're just named after colors. And then here are the routes that are going to go on these corridors. These routes all represent the traffic flow of all the different industries, as well as passengers. I have a bit of a legend here for the industries. Got logs, coal, iron, stone, grain, and crude as the basic resources. And lumber, steel, oil, plastic as secondary resources, and then fuel, masonry, machines, tools, goods, and food as consumer goods that get shipped to cities. All right, so I was going to tackle this city here that has a population of 320. It's got three three different corridors converging on it. On this indigo line, we have a fuel train that passes through. We have a what is this? A lumber train that passes through. A masonry train will stop here and unload and deliver masonry to. Um, Actually, the masonry train starts here because the masonry is produced locally and then shipped out to the next city down. We've got three grain routes that are passing through on the blue line, the blue corridor, and a stone train that picks up magenta line is here. It has, but I think that's machines. Yeah, it's a machine train. Comes through here, stops, and then a looks like steel as well. Yeah, steel goes this way, gets turned into machines, and then comes back. And then the machines are consumed at the city. So the city in question is Parkano. I'm playing with a Finnish naming mod. So all the cities are named after Finnish cities. I've been slowly building out the corridors. There are some now defunct corridors because this is actually the second my second go at this. I had an earlier plan that I decided not to go with. I was thinking of trying to have like a highway network of rail, and it just wasn't working. So I went with having grade separated corridors instead. So here's an example of 3 corridors converging. We have 3 freight or 3 passenger corridors and 3 freight corridors, and they sort of split apart. Like the passenger trains will stop in one area separated from the freight trains. There are actually 3 stations in this because it was just there were so many tracks. Hey, Kerbal. That is interesting. Sorry about the audio. I don't have a mono versus stereo option in OBS. Settings and output or audio. I have some general settings. Channels, it is stereo, and the drop down menu is grayed out, and I can't access it. I can turn up my volume. It's threatening to peak into the yellow and red, but let me know if it sounds okay. I may have to stick this thing directly in front of me if it's picking up stereo. No idea. Maybe this will help. Can't see my game, but and you can't see me very well, but maybe the audio will be better. This is all OBS's fault. All right, what was I doing? Yeah, so this is 3. three corridors converging. But you can see I am attempting to still keep them grade separated, so you can see coming off of which this is here, this city of 110 or so. This is the red line, the yellow line, and the pink line. The yellow line has it actually has double freight corridors because I do have a maximum route. I am imposing a maximum number of routes per pair of tracks to 4, and there are more than 4 freight routes running along this corridor. So I've expanded this particular freight corridor to 4 tracks instead of just 2. But you can see here the freight lines they go under to get under the passenger corridor from there. That's really weird. I am going to test something. Yeah, so this is 3. All right, so that means I can get this thing out of my face, because this isn't changing anything. It's weird. I have no settings I can change that with. Maybe it's in my audio output in my streaming settings. Let's try this. All right. We're going to test that. Yeah, so this is 3. All right, so that means my live stream is so far behind. Let's try this. All right. Well, that did not make things better. We're going to test that. How about this? Yeah, so this is 3. You're going to hear me a couple times because I'm listening to my own stream. All right, so that means my live stream is so far behind. Let's try this. All right. Well, that did not make things better. We're going to test that. How about this? Yeah, so this is nope. All right, putting that right back where I found it. I guess you just have to live with a single ear. And I literally just updated OBS, so like, that's the most advanced version. All right, back to the game. All right. So what I'm going to do at the city is not dissimilar to what I've done here at Meekali, where I also have three corridors intersecting, but two of them intersect at right angles. So I separated them between two stations and had one fly over the other. This is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Although I'm interested in trying to trench one of them instead of elevate. And I'm going to parallel the magenta corridor in with the blue, or the indigo corridor. So this is the junction between blue, indigo, and magenta. I'm going to clean up the roads around here. I'm sort of leaving the roads a giant mess because I'm going to fix them all in one big stage. So this is going to be a through line for 2 passenger lines and then a terminal for 1. But so I'm going to start with a 3 platform. Just trying to get it parallel with the road grid here. So I'm just going to place this sort of close to the corner because I want it to be as close to the other one as possible. Just going to stick that there. And I need to look at what is stopping here and what is going through. So this is blue and not blue. This is indigo and magenta. So nothing is going through on magenta because this is the terminal. But the blue, the indigo, it has 2 through lines, 2 routes going through and 1 ending. So that actually kind of simplifies this. I only need 2 tracks, 2 through tracks and 1 platform for the freight, for the indigo freight, and then the magenta freight. I have to look again. Magenta freight has two routes terminating here, and I have a and I'm allowing maximum of 2 routes per platform, so I should only need 1 platform, which actually makes this pretty simple. Oh, I forgot the indigo platform. And then here is the magenta platform track. So that was pretty simple. Next up is the trenched blue line station. which is it has a single platform and single freight platform and 3 routes going through on a pair of tracks. So that's also relatively simple. So we'll go into here. Only need 2 platforms for the passengers because it's just one corridor. Go to trench it, going down. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to test to make sure this is deep enough. Put some level track down here. Hard to tell if this is actually level. I think that is level. Just eyeballing it, but okay, yeah, that is high enough. I like the red truss, but it's too thick. Go with the regular truss. Anyway, let's finish this station off. So it's going to be the 2 passenger platforms. And then the freight platform. And then the passing tracks for the freight routes. Okay, that was a lot simpler than I was expecting. I just need to figure out the approaches. So we have, I'll go straight through. I'm just going to let it curve up. Sure, no, that's, can't let it curve up. Keep it level at least until it's free, until it's clear of the other station. So this is it's blue, so it's going to go off toward that city over there. Or no, this one. Yes. It does take quite a sharp turn there. Clean up some of the road. Try to get a reasonable curve with a relatively high top speed. And we're just going to not bother with the tunnel. 164 kilometers an hour is not bad. It's auto-saving. All right. platform is serving trains going west. So the entrance to the corridor from the platform is going to go on this end of the station. 2 tracks. Some signals. On the south side, it goes toward that hub, or that node. Sort of right next to that that quarry, so it's probably just going to go cut right through this mountain here. Clear this road first. There's a gentle slope leading into this mountain. I'm just going to cut straight through it on a slight curve. And on this end of the station, I don't need to connect the... I'm doing this wrong. The platform track is the inside track of that station, so... But I was treating it as one of the through tracks, so I need to fix that real quick. Those outer 2 tracks are the through track. And I don't need a connection to the platform track because there are no trains entering or leaving the station from the southeast. So that's good enough for now. Don't need to worry about the other node just yet. I am going to connect up to the to Kimi and Sari over here. Fortunately, the passenger platforms and the freight platforms are on the same side, so I don't need to do any crossovers. Although there are the magenta line tracks here that do need to disentangle. In any case, the which corridor is this again? This is the Indigo line, the Indigo corridor. Do the Indigo passenger first. Actually, I don't want that bridge type. Go with the truss. It has a higher top speed. The magenta passenger line has to You know what? I'm going to keep the magenta passenger at grade and make the indigo freight go underground. Just going to drag this out until it turns into a tunnel like that. Took a bit more dragging than I would have liked. Let's see if I can get this to be a bit further out, further down before I build the tunnel segment. That's better, I think. Marginally better. So that's going toward that station. So that is an acceptable direction. Now for the parallel track to go with it, and the platform track needs to enter it. And trains do need to enter this platform from both directions, so I will have entrances going on both sides of the station this time. How is the level of the tracks going through here? Sometimes doing these crossovers on hills kind of results in weird, lumpy tracks, but it seems to be okay. Now I can take the magenta passenger up and over. Magenta passenger is going to head towards Mikkeli up here. So it needs a relatively sharp turn to the north. Still keep it wide so it has a higher top speed. Go around that coal mine there. Okay, now for the magenta freight. Comes across here. And parallels with the passenger tracks. After it autosaves. Hopefully it doesn't crash my computer. Alright, now that that's figured out, I'm going to shorten this tunnel here, because I kind of want to keep the rails visible for as long as possible, just for aesthetic reasons. Indigo passenger line can meet up with the Indigo freight line. Alright, so the freight connections into Kemi and Sari are going to be a little complicated because there are no through trains, no freight trains that pass through. Like all the freight trains that go here stop here. So I only need I need to connect the freight lines into the freight platforms. And there are only 2 freight lines, so they only need to connect to 1 platform, I think. Yes. I do have this outermost platform reserved for this corridor. Creating a bit of a sharp corner for the passenger trains. So I'm just going to fix that. That is better. Alright, so that is one leg of the Indigo line finished. Right, this is the correct orientation. So currently my goal is to sort of, my focus is the Indigo line, so now that this is more or less done, I do kind of want to get the road connections to the city figured out. What I actually want to do is put some passenger buildings relatively close to the other station. And connect them by small road, allegedly. That should work. And that should work. And we'll just get this plugged into the city's grid. I'm going to set the player ownership to of these roads because I don't really want the city to automatically connect more streets into those. I kind of want to keep those controlled. Alright, Indigo line. So that's one. That's another stretch. The next stop is this 130 population town. It's one that sort of sits next to a fuel refinery here. And this is a junction between two lines. I'm going to do the flyover thing again. This corridor that's going through here is actually defunct, and it's destined to be pretty much demolished. This is from my old plan that I abandoned. But so where is this going? This is eventually going to the next city is this 0.9 or 90 population town. Down here, Savonlinna. So if the corridor passed to the east, it would be allowed to pass as straight as possible. And then the yellow corridor is going between that 300-person city and the 220-person city. So, Jämijärvi and Kolari. So that's probably going to most efficiently pass to the north. So I'm looking at putting the stations in this corner. I'm going to have to clear out this old corridor. And then clear out this bridge. Now putting the other station on the east side of this town does mean that the passenger and cargo platforms will switch sides. And this is because I'm trying to keep the passenger terminals or the passenger platforms on the city's side of the station. So which of these is busier? The yellow line looks like it has a lot more routes going west than the indigo line has going north. And then the indigo doesn't have any... what just happened? Okay. OBS just... what are you doing, OBS? Is my stream still going? That's a question. Looks like it. Some weird window layout things happening in my other screen. Alright, what was I saying? So the busier track I'm going to keep at ground level. Busier track is going to be the yellow corridor, so I am going to embed or trench the indigo corridor for this. I believe 20 clicks down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be good there. All right, how about the platform? So we have three freight routes coming in. And so those will get 2 freight platforms. That is the wrong station to configure. This should be relatively simple, just two tracks, plugging into two tracks. All right, and the other station. Which is going Kolari to Yamiyarvi relatively horizontally. Assume your yes is to my Am I Still Streaming? Alright, let's take a look at the platform setup that I need. So nothing is going through. No, that's not true. I have a single tool train that has to go through. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freight routes coming in from the west, so that's going to be a 4-track freight corridor, and 4 of them stop, so that's going to be two platforms and 2 through tracks. And then coming from eastbound, there will be another platform. We'll go 4 across, so the inner 2 will be through tracks, and the outer 2 will be places for the freight trains to stop. Another row of platforms, and then a single stopping track on the outside there. And that should do it. So same deal as before, I'm going to bring these across to the other side of this station as level as I can before having them go up again. But I do want the freight trains to cross over underneath the passenger trains. So actually, what I'm going to do is send the passenger corridor down as it exits. Need to go very far down. Then we get a tunnel. Oh, that's not going to work. This track isn't going to be raised fast enough to be able to go over that yet. It's just going to want to do a diamond, which it's a bit weird that it thinks that this is valid. It would actually let me do this, which is kind of crazy. It won't let me It will whine about bridge pillars, but it will let you cross a cut with a tunnel. Alright, I'm going to try to lengthen that as much as I can. Bring these level and then send them down slightly before bringing them back up. Over somewhere around there, I think. There we go. This can now ascend fast enough to climb over that tunnel. Let's make sure the other side is in place. Clear out these roads. I want to back that off a little bit just to control the grade of this a bit better. What's it doing now? Okay, so this has a steep grade, which is causing it to want to keep going up a little bit. I think I might want to extend this tunnel a bit further. All right, that's better, I think. Yeah, that is better. We should be able to get this hooked into the rest of the corridor up here pretty easily now. I'm going to send this below grade slightly so this town will have a chance to cross the railway more easily. Doesn't need to be a tunnel, just a trench to bridge over. I'll aim for a relatively high-speed curve through here. Right. Does mean I have to back off this straight piece. See you later, Cribble. Game is struggling to make this parallel track for some reason. I'm at it from the other direction. Seems to have worked. Alright, which platforms do I need to connect this into? I think if I recall what I was saying earlier, it only needs to connect with the one freight platform here. Check the grade here. There's a bit of ballast sort of clipping through the rail right in there. Bugs me slightly. Try. Yeah, this track approaches the other one not on the same sort of vertical curve. I'm just going to fix that because it bugs me. If I start this paralleled briefly and then do a connection in, should follow the vertical curve better now. I think that's working, yeah. Now we can do the other side. Yeah, it's relatively, nothing's sort of clipping through the, nothing's clipping through each other. There's some signals. Okay, and that's another section of the Indigo corridor connected. Get the yellow corridor flyovers figured out now. Just backing off this old corridor. I might still be able to use it because it does pretty much go the direction now. Because this has to go to this city first before it heads south. Yeah, so most of this is not usable. Fortunately. Huh. Doesn't want to let me bridge that. I think I'm going to have to kick the station up a few elevations. Which does mean I have to basically rebuild it. Let's try that. Put these platforms in. 4 tracks across. Not registering every click, so I'm going to have to go back and redo a few parts. This map is going to become a laggy mess once I really start getting trains running. It's more about the challenge of trying to connect every single industry. And an extra large map. Alright, let's try this again. Try the bridges. Yes, we get bridges. Keep them relatively flat. Sorry for the yawn. Hello, admin. Welcome in. Alright, so the freight corridor going this way only getting it can only be connected. It only needs to be connected to this outside platform track. So I can just drag this across. Put some signals. That's going all right. Feel pretty decent. So this side is going towards Kolari again, completely ignoring this old track that I have in here. It's from my old plan that I've abandoned. Parallel the passenger track with the freight track here. That's not the parallel I wanted, but okay, there we go. This side's a bit different because we have 5 freight routes coming out here, so I need it's going to be a 4-track freight corridor. How are you doing, admin? It's going to be allowed to be fairly straight, except for the part where it has to go through a hill. Now to go around it, sort of zigzag through these hills or go through them. I don't actually know which side of this town I want the stations to be. It's going to be a fairly... The yellow corridor is going to encounter the cyan corridor at a relatively acute angle. Probably going to make them converge just south of the city along the water. So probably going to parallel with each other and then cross the river together before disentangling. So this needs to aim relatively in that direction. I also don't actually need to worry about this right now because I'm trying to focus on the indigo corridor. The passenger track paralleled with that again. Now the tricky thing here is the 4-track setup. The way the convention I'm going with is to have it like two different corridors just sort of running next to each other, as opposed to, say, 2 eastbound trains on one side and then 2 westbound trains on the other. It's eastbound, westbound, eastbound, westbound, bound, sort of alternating. But however, it does need to the trains that do need to go through, they need to cross over into the middle tracks. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. And they both are going to need access to the outside tracks as well. Like all 4 tracks need access to the outside 2 tracks because those are the station tracks. Several of those trains stop here. So let's see. Let's start with this. Put 2 crossovers there and there. And then a single crossover between the 2 middle tracks here. And just single turnouts there. Show train coming from this direction can cross over all 4 tracks if it needs to get to the outside platform, though I'm probably going to try to avoid that. Or it can keep going and then go into the middle tracks as a through train. Actually, it doesn't actually let me know. Well, technically, sometimes it does. Because multiple lines are allowed to use the same track. But it won't let trains go through each other. So if 2 trains end up trying to use the same track or sort of facing each other, they can get stuck. But in any case, what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to have these crossover 3 tracks in each direction. And then use a double slip switch here. No crashing. Safety is not something you have to worry about in this game. It's all about the routes. Right, so this is going to continue to Savonlinna, where there are... It's going to be interesting. It interfaces with two other corridors, the pink and the green. And there's an annoying hill right there. I think I'm probably going to put the stations on the southeast side, where it's relatively flat. But that does mean cutting Savonlinna off from its waterfront. Unless I cross the river twice. Because I'm benevolent. Tyrant. Benevolent tyrant? That's oxymoron. Alright, so I'm going to start stations here. Yeah, it'll actually be simpler if I let the trains cross the river before disentangling them, because yeah, it's just going to be simpler. Although the Indigo line won't need to. Indigo corridor won't need to disentangle much because there are no freight trains on this stretch of it, so it's just the two passenger tracks. And because this is a terminal on the Indigo line, I only need a single platform for those lines. I'm gonna try to keep this relatively parallel to the edge of the map there. I'm gonna raise it up so it can cross the river without too much issue, without too much change in elevation. Words are not working. I haven't picked any names yet. I was going to wait for more people to make suggestions. I know DPI gave a bit of a list, but you know what? The Indigo track can actually go around this way. So Salomina doesn't get to lose its waterfront. The pink line can cross the river before it goes north. I'm going to go around this end of this hill. That didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Oh, because it was auto-saving. Alright, let's get this figured out. It's going down there. Which side of this am I building? Okay, it's not yet determined, so it doesn't matter. Which of these rails I plug this into? All right, so this is going to get complicated because there are quite a few freight lines coming in along the green line, the green corridor. Got some food, some, I don't know what this stuff is. Goods, food and goods. Got some oil, some grain, and I think that's stone. Yeah, stone. There are two routes that are passing through. The pink line has a single freight route coming from the north and has no freight routes going east. So that's going to be relatively simple, going east. I don't actually have to disentangle anything. Just that. So that's two parallel passenger corridors. But I do need to figure out what all is stopping here. So we have 1, 2, 3 routes that have to stop here on the green corridor. So that'll be 2 platforms and a single platform for the pink corridor. Probably going to make the pink corridor cross over to the far side. That makes the green corridor relatively easy. I can just do another 4-track thing. Single outside line. So we have only two routes going east, so don't have to do anything too fancy going this way. Just parallel it right away. Parallel tool is misbehaving. There we go. Some crossovers with, why is that not working? One crossover there, and then another one over here. Not ideal, but it'll work. And then this will be a double slip switch. It doesn't need to be. Yeah, undo that. Maybe it does need to be. Oh, got it to work. No need for the double slip switch. All right, so green corridor going more or less straight with a what? I have been looking at the wrong station this whole time. I need to be looking at this one. Okay, there are... okay, this is still going to work. It still works. I don't need nearly as many freight platforms as I thought I did. I'm just going to undo a bunch of these. We only need two. We only need one platform, actually. There's only 2 lines, so just get rid of all of this. This simplifies the eastbound stuff pretty well. Actually, I don't need any freight tracks going east. Okay, I'm actually going to keep platforms where they are. Not the platforms, I'm not going to be crossing over any lines. This bridge through. I'm gonna go with the concrete. Try to raise it up so it has room for boats, even though I'm probably never gonna actually use boats here. Just for the look of the thing. Let's adjust these curves though. That tool tends to create sharp vertical curves. I might put this, I might put Nivala's station across the river from it, instead of having it on the same side. It'll keep me from having to cross over the passenger lines with the freight lines. I connected the wrong track. Innermost track does not need to continue east or west, sorry. It's not that hard to disentangle freight from passengers. But it would save me like 2 bridges to keep it on the south side of this river. So I think that's what I'm going to do when I get to the green corridor. So right now I need to do some finishing touches with the indigo corridor, because that is the end of that one. I'm just going to put down some signals, save the game actually, because I haven't saved yet since that time isn't correct. Just going to put in all the signals of this corridor. That pillar is very close to that track. I actually have a lot of tracks here that don't have signals. I might have to do that as a different phase. I need to decide what corridor to focus on next. I could. So I've just done the indigo corridor. The red one's done, the orange one is done. I'm thinking I want to do the cyan next. Or the green. Let's do the green because it helps sort of finish the outside, and I'm sort of working in, with the exception of the red line, which goes right through the middle. Green line starts at Gumlinge with three passenger platforms. The blue passenger corridor actually continues along the yellow. There's only one freight platform for that city. For now. I'm going to make this a terminal style with 3 tracks, starting with 3 passenger tracks. Attach it right onto that street there. As these cities grow, they start to demand more materials. So that'll be a challenge if and when I ever get to if and when I ever get to actually running the sim. It's currently paused while I build this out. The cities will grow and start demanding new resources, so I'm going to have to eventually plan new routes and expand existing corridors. So I have 1 track going north, or two passenger corridors, and the freight corridor going north. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the easternmost platform go west on the green line. It's going to go down and under. Terrain isn't making this easy for some reason. I do need it to turn pretty much directly west. That road out of there, interfering. There's the tunnel. a little trickier because these tracks expand out quite a bit. Because they're starting as single tracks and all three need to double up. And still make it over this tunnel. So most of this is gonna have to go away, so I don't want to actually connect with it. I need it to go more or less straight north. Oh, that's interesting. That's another. It looks like there's one corridor crossing another, but there's actually two corridors terminating. I might be able to get away without having to disentangle anything. Yeah. I have to get creative there. Actually, I might take care of it. That would just complete this corner of the map. I have to get rid of this now defunct corridor, but try to get this to pass relatively close to that tunnel, as much as is comfortable. Pretty much going to replace this road. This town is sort of wedged between two hills, which is going to make it challenging. I'm tempted to be absolutely evil and just send an elevated high-speed rail corridor through this town. Nah, I don't know about that. Probably gonna stick the station going across this valley. No, this is a bit more challenging than the other stations have been. In any case, I just need to aim that in that general direction. Now if I could just get this track tool to cooperate. track tool is misbehaving again. Come on. Please snap. There we go. I'm going to try to shorten this tunnel. Going to be a lot of deleting. I'm probably not going to stream all of the demolition of the old tracks. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting station because I do have one of the two exceptions to my rule of keeping the corridors grade separated. I have a passenger line that I want to transition from the blue corridor to the yellow corridor without making anyone get off transfer. I am going to start with a 4-track passenger station. I'd have to do this relatively far outside the city, or just demolish a chunk of hill. It's out here. Let's take a look at the freight corridors. So the yellow line needs one platform and a passing track for the freight trains. So just put in 3 parallel tracks like this. Well, I need no, I don't need anything. I need platforms on the outside. I'd like them all to be lined up, please. Other 2 stations, I'm going to have separate stations for the other 2 corridors. That will require a passenger building on the outside. I'll go with the large one. Or maybe not. And I'm going to put in a passenger terminal for the pink corridor. I'm going to head down towards Savonlinna. Where does it? I sure hope I didn't screw this up again. No, I didn't. Not entirely, anyway. So, single platform. Have it sort of attach into the side like that. And then on the other side, there I need 2 freight platforms. Because there are 3 grain routes and 1 stone route going north. And these I am going to put in like this. So I won't have to disentangle any passenger track from freight track. This freight track is just going to go through this hill. Try to keep it as level as I can, though. I think that's level. Passenger line is going to try to have it piggyback this tunnel. Very sharp turn, top speed of 113 kilometers an hour. Sounds fast, but it's slow for high speed. I think I can manage 60 there. Would like to keep it level though. Let's try that again. $171, 165. Now can I plug it into these platforms? It goes down to 121, which is even worse. So I'll just deal with it. Or I just give the passenger track its own tunnel. I have this turn north before this bridge, so I need to clear that. Bring the end of that track back a little bit so I can start the curve earlier. We're going north toward that quarry because there's going to be a station right around there. And the passenger track through. What happens if I try to do that immediately? That kind of works. Top speeds are staying above 200 kilometers an hour. I find this acceptable. That can continue on parallel to the freight track. To check this again, I do have freight continuing along with the yellow line, so I'm going to come straight through off of that freight line. Try to parallel the passenger line to it before the tunnel. I think I messed something up. I did mess something up. Forgot that there are two free passenger terminals. Oh, I extra screwed this up. Okay, well, I can fix it relatively easily, I think. So because I have one passing passenger track and one terminal here, I actually don't need the outside passenger platform. So you might just keep freight tracks where they are. But yeah, that does mean I need to move this back over. Alright, so that's figured out. I do need to connect these tracks into that platform. Oh, I fixed a non-error. I actually need those platforms back. Put some fancy stuff on here. Alright, back to paralleling that, like it was originally. There we go. Just plug it straight into this. Back off the straight section a bit so we can get a better curve. It's much smoother. Alright, that is that city done. Yamiyaravi is connected. Now, I was looking at this, wondering if I screwed something up, and I technically did, but not too bad. One of these passenger tracks does need to curve northward, coming out of here. Hook up with this. I didn't need to delete that. Just put that back. No, I used to go there. So yes, I did need to delete that. Watch me fix the things that I tried to fix but didn't need to be fixed, so I had to fix them again. Alright, that's a bit... not exactly agreeing with this terrain here, but we'll deal with it. I want to aim a little to the left so I can get a decent curve going into the station. There is a logging industry, though. It's kind of in the way of doing this. So I'm going to pull this back a little. Keep it going straight. Curve it slightly to the left. And we'll start building out from here. Clear out the deprecated railway. Oh, and I'm paralleling on the wrong side. Classic. There we go. That is the end of the pink line. Now I could actually complete this section of green line as well. Looks like there's a bit of hilliness happening. I'm going to do the high-speed rail thing and pretend it doesn't exist. Interestingly, it's not generating any tunnels. Just some deep cuts through the hills. Alright, so that's green corridor passengers figured out. Alright, I'm gonna do this section of cyan that goes around here. Is it cyan? No, it's blue. I get my cyan, blue, and indigo all mixed up all the time. What stops here? There's a single platform for stone, and the grain passes through. I am just going to put in a single track cargo platform right along there. I know I do want it to aim a bit more at the whale coming out of the mountain. That's better. And then I can just put in 4 extra tracks because it's just 2 other. Because everything else on this corridor is just passing through. Curve is a bit sharp, but just deal with it. I can get maybe 200 kilometers per hour max speed going around there. Pull this back so that when I connect it in, the curves too sharp. Yeah, that's a 300 top speed. That's good. I plugged it into the wrong track though. Try that again. I do need to get the passenger line to cross over before it gets here. Or do I? Crap. Alright, gotta fix this. The cargo platform is going to be on the opposite side. Keep the buildings where they are, because they connect everything to the industry. But I do need to shift all the rails over. So the passenger tracks are going to stay on the west side. Go. The stone needs to go south, so plug the platform track in to the passing track on the south end of the station. throw some signals down while I'm at it. And that station is done. Looking back down at the yellow corridor needs to turn fairly sharply to the west here. So immediately coming out of this tunnel, I'm going to start that curve. Top speed around 220, which is pretty good. Just keep it just at 200. I don't generally use trains that go much faster than that, so shouldn't be an issue. Alright, so which side do I want things on? Looks like in this case, the passengers are on the east/north side, and I need to get them to the south side, so that does need to be switched over. Since the passenger tracks are already sort of curving to the north on this side, I can take advantage of this. Send the passenger tracks underground. Trying to curve this sharply to the south as I can. No, because I went canker to there. This old track is throwing me off here. I don't need this to curve southward. Just need it to go under the ground. Okay. Come on. There you go. When building rail lines in Minecraft just doesn't cut it anymore. Indeed. Hello, Armadritex. Oh, does it? I guess I can't think of any reason why it shouldn't work. Hi, Walker. Oh, it's armed redux. Okay, now I see how it. I see how the words work together. I'm looking at it thinking, Armadritex? All right. We need to start really clearing out some of these deprecated railways that are starting to make it difficult to see what I'm doing. I'm going to switch focus to the green corridor. It looks like even in my plan I had the station on the south side of the river anyway. Let's clear out this road. These words are hard, and we both like to make them harder, it appears. Put the passenger on the north side. Before there's two corridors here, so I do need 4 platforms. Move it away from the river so I have room for a street. Let's take a look at the freight situation. A little complicated. Green corridor does have passing track. Picks up some goods. No, picks up some food. No. Goods. Drops off the goods. So that's oh, and then there's some grain and stone as well. So I need 2 platforms for the green corridor and a single platform for the pink. And then the platform for the cyan corridor. So this is going to be a little challenging. It might require more than 1 station. Let's see what I've done here. I had a single double track immediately parallel to the passenger tracks. Actually, I do need another passenger platform here. And then 2 platforms and a passing track for the freight. Do some cargo platforms after autosaves. 4 tracks across. And the green and pink, not the green, the pink and cyan platforms are going to be on the outside here. Now I've reached the size limit for the station, so what I'm going to do is a 2-track station on the end there. No, it's not going to let me do that. New plan. I'm going to get rid of the last 2 tracks on here. Two tracks on the end like that. And then do a 3-track cargo station like that. That should account for all of the platforms and tracks for that station. Let's get it hooked up to the to that corridor. Start the curve immediately after the station. Just going to follow the river, more or less. Except for this one part where the curve would be a little too sharp for high speed. Try to keep the top speed above 200. That's all, I think that's all of the eastbound tracks. There are no trains that stop here coming from eastbound or going to eastbound, so I don't need to plug these into the platforms on this side. This side, yes. I will need to do that. I have to go around that farm. So I want to keep the passenger track from going underground in this place. I can keep the green corridor also above ground. The pink and cyan ones will need to cross over. Both of these together. So they're going to go straight and immediately go down. And curve northward. I want that tunnel. There's the tunnel. Then I can make it go up and over the river. It's going to be tricky because I'm going to have to split this between two other corridors. One going east, one going west. Or northeast and northwest. Let's do this. Splits into two sets of parallel track. They'll split from each other eventually after they get across the river. Green quarter is going to continue straight across. With 4 freight tracks. Is this still the green corridor on the south track? Yes, it is. So I can just keep these passenger tracks going along the freight track. The pink line is also going to continue straight over the other tracks. Phone just made a noise. Apologies. And this will curve forward and meet up with the bridge, the eventual bridge on the south side. And this one will meet up with the bridge on the north side. And then they don't have to, then when the cyan and the pink split apart, they don't have to go, nothing has to go over anything else or under. Let's get the parallel track to that. Definitely one of the busier station exits so far. So there's essentially 3 corridors, all departing in the same direction. So I need to get this bridge sorted out. There is a deprecated bridge in the way. So Cyan needs to go northeast to that city. Pink needs to go north to this city. So just continue breaking up this bridge, get out of the way. Same thing with this road. I want the maximum speed from this bridge. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit ships under here, and I don't have any water lines that need boats, so I can probably just leave this relatively low. Keep it raised ever so slightly, just for the look of it. However, I do want to break the bridge up here, put in a fill. And the two corridors will diverge at that fill. Actually, both of these need to cross both rivers. They do have to cross in different directions, so take out a bit of those roads there. Bring this across. And then go straight across from there. Oof, that's a tight corner. Or a high-speed train is going to have to slow down to 76 kilometers an hour. See if I can get a better curve on that coming from the other direction. Should no longer needs to drop below 100. This tunnel is making it hard to plan this though. That's 99, that's worse. So put it back. That'll have to do. That is a lot of track. Alright, so I'm not going to worry too much more about figuring out where these go, because I do want to focus on the green corridor. Which is going to continue west to Imatra. At which two corridors converge. The pink line comes back across the river. There's a whole lot of cargo being transferred and unloaded or offloaded. Yeah, there's only one freight train that goes all the way through that. Over here at 1.9 or 190 person city. I'm going to work out the station real quick. Might be able to reuse some of this. Yeah, this section, that very short section, because I'm going to have it diverge around this farm. Maybe I can have it follow the river. It would actually kind of look cool to have it follow the river. I might lose a few fields, but in that case, I'm definitely not going to use most of the track that's here. Keep demolishing, get rid of the bridges. Passenger station, we need 4 platforms. The freight platforms are going to be the tricky part, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 platforms for the green, 1 platform for pink. It wasn't nearly as bad as I was making it out to sound. So we'll do cargo platforms, line of 4. Should be good enough, because the pink only has freight going off to the northwest-ish. I'm not actually going to have it go across the lake like that. I'm going to have it loop back to the east slightly. Didn't feel like redrawing those lines. All right, let's get the tracks laid, the entrance to the station figured out. So we're going to have us go to the south of that iron mine. Well, actually, that's the pink. This is the pink line track, so that's going to go a bit more sharply to the north. And then the green will sort of curve gently past the iron mine to the south. Your track will parallel it. I think this is still 4-track freight, so actually want to start from there. Get this even a bit more at the river. It's going to be a riverside track. Right down to the edge. Who cares about floods? Kind of shimmies up and down a little too much. Need to redo that. Try this again. Start in the middle. I'm going to bring these back so I can curve them. This is going to encroach pretty nastily on that poor farm. Pretty thick artery going through here. 6 parallel tracks. And there we go. Another section of green is done. And we just need to get the pink freight under the green corridor. Pink freight's coming off of this distant track, so that's going to immediately go straight down. These out of the way. Can I use any of that to get there? I probably can actually use this track. Anyway, this needs to come back over. Oh, nice to get a relatively short tunnel. Unfortunately, means that's because there's a hill here. I don't think I can actually climb over that hill. I might. I'm going to bring this over a bit further. So I want to be able to cross it with 4 tracks. Over. Thank you. See if I can plug it straight into that old track. Yes, it does. Nice. Parallel tool is misbehaving there. So this is going to loop all the way around the city. Don't worry about finishing it later. Right, and then I just need to get it plugged into the station. However, I do need to get the passenger track swapped over. Probably going to make the freight track go underground though. Which freight track, which freight platform do I use? So I only have one freight train going along this, so I only need the single platform. This needs to go under. That bridge out of the way, I think it's going to interfere. Looks about right. Can work with this. Plug this into the second track from the south. And then the green corridor passenger tracks comes out of the middle platform. Have it cross over this as close as I can get it. Without looking terrible. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. Let's flip this over. The top speed stays relatively quick. 162. 69, that works. And this plugs into the outside track there. The bridges in this game generally make me sad. It's one of the things I find it did worse than in the previous version of the game. Alright, so I think that's the green corridor finished. Starts over here, just takes passengers, then it gains, then it parallels with the pink corridor, and then it gains a four tracks of freight. Oh, if I forgot over here was to set up the entrance to the freight platforms. So all of them are going west. The way I did it last time is I had two, please cooperate, thank you, two crossovers each side. And then cross over 3 tracks. On. I also don't think this version of the game does switches better than the first one either. Try from this side. There we go. Then we need some double slip switches in there. Now every track has access to every platform, as well as passing tracks. That is a lot of tracks. How many is it? That's 6 plus 8. 14 tracks leaving that station on the west. Alright. I have most of the pink corridor done, so I can probably finish that. Or I could consider going to bed, because it is 20 to 10, and I have a train to catch tomorrow morning. Because I'm going to Montreal. Gonna go look at the Montreal's brand new metro line, the REM, they're having a open house, so I'm going to spend way too much on Via Rail to go ride a metro for free. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you, Walker and Admin and Kerbal earlier, and anyone else who somehow found this impromptu thing. Yeah, so good night, bonsoir, bonne nuit. That was French, in case you didn't know.